It's that time again. Time for 24 Minutes with Brady and Stacy.
Let's switch channels. This show is dull.
You bet.
24 minutes is all we have to talk about today's topics and news and views and listener suggestions.
All that good stuff that Brady and Stacey have brought for years, right here for you. We'll start a timer at the beginning of the show, 24 minutes. At the end of the timer, the show's done.
It doesn't matter if we're solving world hunger or brokering for world peace. Once that buzzer goes off, we're done.
Let's put this show out of its misery.
Now on with the show.
Hey there, another 24 minutes with Brady and Stacey. I'm Bob Brady.
I'm Stacy Sturm.
So the premise of the show is we have 24 minutes with a guest or just 24 minutes with a topic. And at the end of that 24 minutes, when the timer goes off, the show's over. So today, we have a special guest.
Yeah.
Yes.
And a very interesting topic. So I've known Dean for quite a while. He is known as the Military Medium. He's a psychic medium. And I met him probably 5 or 6 years ago. No, we were over at the other space. So it would have been like 10 years ago, Dean. I think it would have been.
Not long ago.
Mm-hmm. And I've known his wife forever.
I mean,
I know, right?
Going on?
It's shocking. We're only in our 30s. And so
Yeah.
there we go. But yeah, so I thought, so let's
get the timer started first, yes.
How this works, Dean, is we're going to set the timer and we're going to talk to you about God knows what, everything under the sun. And then at 24 minutes, no matter what, we're done. That's it.
Sounds good.
Ziggy, set a timer for 24 minutes.
24 minutes, starting now.
So
when
even
Ziggy
if
says
you
we're
are
done, Dean, we're done.
Even if you are channeling my favorite actor of all time, Patrick Swayze, we got to be done. I'm going to have to say, sorry, you got to cut Patrick off. We're done.
Nobody puts Baby Ghost in the corner.
So Dean, let's get to it, because there's people out there that think this is weird or whatever. But how do you? What's your story? How did you come about doing this?
So going back, Bob, about 13 years ago, where I came back from my last military deployment, and where my deceased grandmother came to visit me, and quite honestly, it was a come to Jesus moment, or the spiritual awakening, and I kind of trying to figure out what everything meant. And I was told that I was a medium, and I quite honestly told that person that they were full of shit. And but then at some point I embraced it, and in a shortened version of the story is I started figuring out what being a medium meant for Dean McMurray, not James Van Prague or somebody on TV. And I was like, because I'm a small town kid from northern Minnesota, what does that mean for me, right? And I was still very much in the military at the time, so it was kind of a interesting thing. So when I started to develop myself, it was very much Dean the soldier by day and Dean the medium by night, right? So go ahead.
Did you have any experiences as a kid, or was this just totally out of the blue when they're like, hey, you're a medium?
It's like,
Poof.
Here's a shirt. Right, boom. Looking back, was I more sensitive to things and probably having intuitive moments? Absolutely. But I don't remember anything specific when I was a child. I certainly did when I was an adult in Afghanistan, where, hearing disembodied voices and different things in the mountains of Afghanistan, so to speak. I'm sure you're envisioning Shirley MacLaine and going, the hills are alive, right? So, but quite honestly, is where Afghanistan is very much a war-torn country, and so there was a lot of Russian Afghani skirmishes. But no, I wasn't aware when I was a kid. It was something that was later in life. So,
is there a difference between a medium and a psychic?
So the book definition is yes. So, they always say is that a psychic is be able to connect to people's energy, future, past, present tense. So, and then, a medium is a psychic isn't a medium. Now, here's what I would say is labels are a dangerous thing because they put us all in boxes.
Yeah.
And I've met some very skilled psychics that are very much mediums, and some mediums that probably aren't so much, not so much. So it depends how you look at it. And so what I would share is that, I always ask somebody energy modality if they do mediumship per se. I would share is that the aspect of I'm trying to think. I lost my train of thought, but what I am but what I am sharing is that you know, the answer to your question, Bob, is the book definition, are psychics mediums? No.
Yeah.
And are mediums psychics? By definition, no.
All right.
How many times do people ask you to pick the Powerball numbers for them?
It doesn't happen, Stacy, as often you would think. And it's interesting, but I think early on they did. I have a client that always is really big on the lottery, and she's like, you need to give me that shit or whatever. But it's like, I think most people get it because they're like, I'm sure if it worked, Dean would be a millionaire by now.
Yes.
And,
yes.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Now, how does your gift work for you? Because we've talked to mediums and psychics in the past, and some hear things, some see things, some get like visual, like written things or signs or signals. How does it work for you? How do you get messages?
I think it's a mix for me. That's what I feel. A lot of times I can sense more the energy aspect, right? So there's the aspect of seeing in my mind's eye, like whether it's apple pie or a vision of, say, if I was to describe Bob to you, Stacy, seeing Bob show up in my mind's eye and then giving you a description of maybe the glasses or whatever. That's the same way. And then there's a very like 1 to 0.5% time where they physically manifest in front of me, but a lot of times I'm picking up through perceptions of more empathetic vibrations, if you will. Like I can feel more of their personality, funny, serious, whatever the case. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So you'll feel Bob's essence and you'll be like, there's a guy who thinks he's pretty funny coming to me, Stacy.
I don't think. I know. That's the difference.
He is the God's gift to creation. He is a man's man to see the psych. It's coming to me now, Bob. It's the salt of the earth.
I knew it. See?
He is the walking recreation of,
Don
That's
Rickles.
the energy I give up. Yes, that's it. See?
No, where's your tie? No respect.
Yeah,
right?
hey, that's it.
Oh, gosh. So what is the craziest thing you've ever seen, Dean? What's the craziest thing you're like, that can't be right? There's no way that I'm picking up on this.
Oh, you mean as far as validation? There's
Yeah.
been so many over the years. I think there was one where I kept on seeing like the gentleman that was coming forward with 50-cent pieces. And I was talking about like he's standing beside his own coffin handing out 50-cent pieces and making a big deal about it. The lady started crying. She said, yeah, that's my dad. He always had 50-cent pieces for the grandkids. But what's more important, he said, I made sure in his coffin, I took his change, the coin purse, and I filled it up full of 50-cent pieces and I put it in the coffin and nobody knew that. And I was like, so you can't make this shit up. And
Right. Yeah.
there was another lady that sent me a video one time of validation in her reading. I said, oh, Spirit talks about celebration, about new baby energy. So, one of your children talking about, being pregnant. And so their current child, which is probably 3-4 years of age, they had a shirt made up of the psychic was right because they had announced, and of course the videotaped it, that that they announced that they were pregnant.
Wow.
Other things that come to fruition. There was I have some channelings before. I think it was right when Trump announced that his nomination for president. It was around the date. So this is way back, and I got some channelings about Russia being involved, and I was like, what is it? This makes no sense. Like, I must be smoking my own sage or something. And so I just left it as a unknown, and it was like, no shit, like something came to fruition. So there's different things that come to fruition that it's just like kind of like, whoa, that's pretty cool.
So the military medium, do you do more stuff with military people, or is it just the moniker that you were the military and here's
It's
what
a
I have?
moniker,
Yeah.
basically because, you know, being 24 years in the military made up the first half of my adult life, you
Yeah.
know, and but I have worked a lot with the military since being retired and doing what I do. But of course, I work with everybody of all walks of life.
So have you
What's-
ever been in a situation where it's like you don't know how to break the news to somebody? Like maybe you're talking to somebody and you see like their husband or boyfriend is cheating on them. And you're like, ooh, grandma wants me to tell her that her boyfriend's cheating on her, but I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, so that's the tricky part with things that when you you almost have to have a really good bedside manner, right? And like, how do you deliver bad news well? And so it's almost, you know, and you don't want to, because we all have free will, and you don't want to persuade or change the outcome of somebody's life because they could even know. And a lot of times, most people know before they're told.
Yeah.
But a lot of times is like, hey, there's somebody within your, if I'm being shown that, saying, hey, you need to be aware of what others are doing. They're trying to keep something from you. People that are very close, trust your intuition. You know, there's somebody being devious or lying to you. But if they come point out the point blank, you know, and saying, hey, is my boyfriend, husband, girlfriend, whatever, cheating, and I'm like, I wish I had a different outcome, but I'm seeing XYZ,
Yeah.
is then
What if
yeah,
it doesn't turn out that way?
Yeah, then that's bad.
right.
You know what I mean? Like, what if it?
I always give the disclaimer that I always can be wrong because I am
Yeah.
human, and
Yeah.
saying, you know this, so please be aware of this. And that's why I'm very cautious, because I don't want anybody, when they come to any psychic or myself or anybody else or medium, to put 110% on
Yeah.
everything they say.
Yeah.
I want you to discern for yourself if that's bullshit or not, because
Yeah.
it might not come true. It might see a potential outcome, but saying, well, granted, we have lots of opportunities every day, bad or good. And, you know, it's like, does it mean that I'm going to do that? Or did it happen? It might have changed.
Yeah.
And
Like, or it could be a crazy person thinking that their spouse or whatever is cheating on them, and then nothing's going on at all. Like, I
Right.
just, you know, I hear voices, and Dean's like, no, that's not happening. Or
No,
you know,
you're
whatever it is.
schizophrenic. You should probably go get
Yeah.
that.
You should go to the doctor.
well, and I always give that disclaimer too, right? I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a doctor, right? So
Yeah.
because I'm not, and I can't make that diagnosis, but I do know that there's a lot of misdiagnosis as well, and there's a lot of
Yeah.
people having a psychic phenomena in there. So
It kind of makes it look like people are looking for the right answer and coming to you for it.
Yeah.
Like,
For
There's part of
I
it.
know I'm
confirmation.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
For
there's
confirmation.
part of it. That's part
Yeah.
of it. But I can't get wrapped up into that because I don't know their agenda, because a lot of time it's hidden.
Yeah.
And I have to go with what I'm receiving. But I have to be very careful, because anybody that is doing this you know, with a sense of morality, a sense of
Integrity.
integrity
Yeah.
and ethics, that's saying, I don't want to make things worse, and I don't want to create an issue.
Yeah.
So you have to, when you get in those dicey parts, you got to learn how to, I guess, deliver some news that could be very life-changing for some.
Yeah. It's a tiptoe, man. That's
Yeah.
Are you picking up on anything with Bob?
You know, I didn't start reading Bob. If that's something that we want to do, I don't know. Bob, did you want me to?
You could read me, man. I'm an open book.
Oh,
Do your thing.
okay. It's like, why are all the pages blank? I can't read it, Bob.
Yes, exactly.
What's going
See,
on?
that's right.
See,
It's
and I
hard to
told-
get in there.
Stacey, I told you earlier, like, he's the salt of the earth. He's a reincarnation of,
Yeah.
like,
Yep. There's a lot of empty pages. I know that.
right? No. But one of the things that I would give for Bob is that number one, when we talk about, because Stacy, and you probably remember this, I've given reading on your programs in the past, but
Mhm.
because I work with a lot of archangels, and one of the things that I would share for Bob is the two main archangels that jump out really quick is Archangel Gabriel and Michael. Now, Gabriel is all about communication, right? Podcasts, I mean, come on. But the other thing is that I would share is that you're really good with the written word too. That's what I keep on seeing, like old school typewriter. And I feel like you're also connected to like older things. So which is interesting, like a collector. And so it's like either a collector of older things, or it's like a connection to physical and material items, which is really kind of interesting. The other thing that I'm also being shown as well is Archangel Michael, and it's a lot of protection. Now, this goes out beyond you, but also like within the family dynamic, right? But it's good about you setting boundaries with others. So, like maybe it's committing to projects or time or whatever, saying, no, damn it, I can't do that or whatever. So it's good that that's just what Michael is sharing. But I do have a male that does step around you, Bob. And it's interesting because the first thing that I smell is cigarette smoke and black licorice are the two smells that I come up with first off. And the thing is that it's interesting if the scene from Sanford and Sons shows up, but it's like a lot of things collected. I'm not saying that you're a hoarder, and I'm not saying that, but that's the scene that I'm showing. It's like you think of kind of the scene that is set, and so whether it's more of a rural area, like a lot of things out in the pasture, I'm not quite sure, but just a lot of stuff around. Did you have somebody that was significant to you that was a collector as well, or a
No,
collector
it's just
of
me and all
items?
my stuff. Like I have all my stuff.
He does have a
Well,
lot
I
of
get
stuff.
in the
Got
background. I get
got a
that,
lot of
but
shit.
I mean, we're not. So
Um,
we only see a small snippet, but I feel that it goes way beyond your knickknacks.
well, I don't think so. To be quite honest, I mean, I'm not trying to,
Okay. Yeah.
but I did have a cigarette and some black licorice before we came on the podcast.
Really?
So
You
that
did you
no,
really?
no, I didn't.
Oh,
Okay.
jackass. Oh.
It's funny you say that, Dean. I just had black licorice and I love
I
it.
just smoked a pack of cigarettes and ate some
Yeah.
black licorice.
Be like,
Out in the backyard. Yeah. Like a crusty old grandfather from the
It's
60s.
his, it's his
And I
podcast
smoke
ritual.
black licorice, so I mean, I mean, we're all
Great.
three in good company here.
Gross.
But,
No collectors. It's funny you say
Oh.
Sanford and Son because this is, I don't know, when I was a kid, my dad and I used to watch Sanford and Son like on TV. Like he would sit there and he smoked. Like he's, I don't know if that's what you're trying to go with, but like he smoked, he still does. He's 75 years old. But we watch Sanford and Son all the time. Like it's just funny. Like I watched that show. It was stupid because I was like 12. It was in reruns, I think, but it wasn't
I'm gonna
live.
see you
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, there's a connection there.
Right. Okay. Something that a
Oh.
moment that you share with your dad, or
Yeah.
moment in time that's something that you share with your dad. Okay. So,
All right, how about me, Dean? I've hesitated to ask this. I've avoided Dean at all costs for like the last 2 or 3 years going through cancer treatment because I didn't want bad news.
it's interesting though, because I remember, like, obviously we're friends on social media and we're friends.
Yeah.
And I've been watching and supporting you from afar and
Yeah.
commenting and everything. But I was like, oh, like one of the things, not that I've been reading you, but I'm like, oh, your energy always, Stacy, is one of vibrance, right? I know that you were really sick for a lot of times, but I'm like, I'm not even worried about her because I just knew that you were going to pull through. Like, and if you didn't, I mean, obviously that would be a complete shock to me because I'd be like, but I was like, because your life force energy was just, your vibe is always so high, right? And people
She never stops
typically-
working.
I mean,
I don't.
she doesn't. She's like the Energizer Buddy. She's like
Yeah.
going, like, yeah. But the thing that I always felt is like high energy coming from you at all times, and I'm just like, I don't even like, you're good. Like you'll be good. I was like, you're good. And even when you were sick, I mean, really sick. And
Yeah.
so I was like, yeah, so and I think that really speaks to also the people around you as well, because I mean, sometimes we need the support and uplifting energy of other people, even when we feel low ourselves, right?
Yeah, I
So
kind of cut all the low energy, depressing people
that's
out of
great.
my life while I was going through treatment because I'm like, I really don't need
Right.
that bullshit right now.
You
I
kept
really
me around, which is
don't.
a good thing,
Yeah, so that says a lot. Yeah.
good
Well,
or
you
bad or
took her
otherwise.
away to throw stuff at, so I mean,
That's right. I used to be right there, but not anymore.
I
So
mean,
now,
you moved
are
away for
you?
warmer weather.
He
I
did.
did. Yes.
You're coming to Bismarck this weekend. Are you doing a reading this weekend, Dean? Because this is
I,
going to
I,
air on Friday. So
oh, there you go. So
yeah.
yeah, I'll be doing in-person readings Saturday.
Okay.
So I got a little rented a little place down in, I think it's Lions Park area,
Okay.
little community center, whatever. So the events out there. So yeah, in-person sessions.
So
Is
if
that on
people,
your
I was going to
website?
say, yeah. How can
It's
people
on
find out?
it's on social media. So if you go to Facebook or Instagram, the Military Medium, it's out there. So as far as the
You can book Dean for events too. I see it on his website here.
yes,
Yeah, I had Dean at Halloween Town last year.
you did.
And I'm glad I
Mhm.
didn't ask you to come this year, not because I didn't want to see you, but because the weather was so terrible and we couldn't do anything. Like last year we had Dean in a garage.
It was like everybody gather around, and it's like
was
so it was just
so
crammed in, and it was
Tight
cold
and
too.
crammed and
But it
cold that
worked.
night.
It worked though, didn't it? And we had a great time.
Yeah,
and
I
we
heard
made
great
it
things.
work.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was so fun, and what a great work. I'm sorry to hear that the weather didn't cooperate.
Yeah,
this
we
year.
had a blizzard that weekend and I saw it
Hello.
coming, but I was like, yeah.
So did Dean. I mean, it's North Dakota. What do you expect?
Yeah.
So real quick, Dean, before we get cut off by the timer, outlook for Stacy the next year, 2024. Outlook for me. What do you got?
Oh, okay.
Oh
do you
boy,
think?
that's I don't like predicting bad. No, just kidding.
No, you're fine.
no, it's all good stuff. You know, watch where you're investing your money. It feels more like for you, Bob. It feels like if you're moving your money into nest eggs or investing in real estate or different investment. But here's the thing that I would share. Even if you're shaking your head no, if opportunities now between now and the end of the year, really make sure you're doing your due diligence, because it feels like whatever market that is takes a nosedive. And the other thing is for Stacy is more about travel. For 2024 is talking about travel. Maybe
right.
it's to see Bob. I don't know.
I am
But,
actually going to see you really
In
are
December,
a psychic.
yes.
I
yes.
will see
really.
him in a couple weeks in December. I'm coming to Phoenix.
Well,
Yeah.
there you go. So,
And then
I
we have
told
a
her-
trip to Florida in January,
Ooh,
and
I
then
told
somebody from Norwegian Cruises wants me to broadcast on their new ship. So I'm going to guess I'm
Nice.
doing Honduras possibly this spring, summer.
I guess
Sweet.
I'm not. I thought
You
I was
might
going
be
with you.
if I can sell extra. If I can have people sign up for the
Let-
cruises, then we will.
let's do it. I'll run the dinghies, like
Okay,
the psychic dinghy. I'll be the psychic dinghy.
perfect. So yeah, so if I can get people to sign up, then Bob will go free too.
There you go.
Yay.
Well, this has been fun. I know we have a couple minutes left, but if you want to go check out the Military Medium, I have the website up. It's deanmcmurray.com, which has popped up somewhere. It went through Facebook, so look on the socials and find him there. But that's a great story. I mean, it's just something that, like, people think, like I said when I started, like people think, no, he's a psychic or he's got to be some sort of weirdo. That's not what it is. He's trying to help you out with some energies and stuff, right? That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
Yep,
people don't
you-
believe in it, they don't have to get a reading.
Yeah,
It's pretty
that's right.
simple.
It's
simple.
I'm pretty low key. What you see is what you get. Just a normal dude. Stacy can attest to that. I'm as weird as they come. So, but I like to have fun, and it's always great to connect. And thank you guys again for having me on the program. It's always great to connect with you, Stacy, and of course, Bob. It's great connecting with you as well.
Real quick, Minnesota Vikings. What do you see for them? Is that what Stacy's not going to make it through the
honestly,
podcast? That's
I know
fine.
they've been on a great streak, but honestly, I feel it's a close game, but they end up losing.
Dean? Why do we have Dean on, Stacy? What happened there? What
I
does he
don't
know?
I
I'm
love the
apparently not
Vikings.
the only one choking. It's the Vikings
know.
too.
Maybe that's the thing. They're choking. That's
They're
what Stacy's
choking.
doing. Yes.
Be like,
I'm channeling the
Heimlich.
Vikings right now and choking.
Jesus.
this is going south pretty quick. I mean,
Well, Stacy's
That's
having a
what
heart
we do.
attack. Yeah, that's what happens.
I ate an almond. Don't eat healthy, people. That's what does it.
see what healthy food does to you?
And
I
my
mean,
pizza has never messed me up.
Oh my God. There you go. How long are you going to be at Lions Park this weekend on Saturday?
I will be there pretty much all day by
Okay.
appointment only. So yeah,
Oh.
you just message me, Dean at deanmcmurray.com. You can send me an email or a message on Facebook.
Oh, and there it goes. Perfect.
Perfect. Look at that.
You didn't get
Must
cut
be
off,
psychic.
Dean. Yeah,
I
yeah.
must be
Oh,
psychic
God.
this one. Look at that.
It's 24 minutes with Brady and Stacy. Dean, thank you so much. We'll join you again sometime next time.
Absolutely.
Thanks for listening to 24 Minutes with Brady and Stacy.
That was the worst thing I ever heard.
It was terrible.
It was horrendous.
Well, it wasn't that bad.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, there were parts of it I liked.
Yeah, I liked a lot of it.
Yeah, it was good.
It was great.